Hey guys, Eddie from the shop. Today we're going to be doing a front brake job on a 2002 Honda Civic EX. This is the beast. Just kidding. But anyway, it's an 02 Honda Civic EX 4-door VTEC. This will cover, I want to say, 97% of your Civics from 95 up. Should be very similar to this. What you're going to need is a very good jack, a good set of jack stands, half-inch impact socket set, of course your brake grease or your brake lube, 3/8 ratchet set, flathead screwdriver and or a pry bar, and an impact or a 4-way to remove your wheels. Obviously, you want to start by jacking the vehicle up and supporting it on jack stands, which I've already started jacking it up. There's a very good spot in the front of the subframe to do this. It's always been a very reliable spot for me. So you want to get it up there and go ahead and set your jack stands. Never work on a car without jack stands, no matter what anybody tells you. So, you'll see right here is your place to mount your jack stands. It's specifically made for your jack on these vehicles. So. Same on the other side. See the reinforced piece of steel. That is why that's there. Alright, so once you've got it set on your jack stands, let your jack down. Slowly hold this. Jack. Alright, now it's safe to begin. So, first thing you want to do is remove your master cylinder cap. This is for when you compress your calipers. It doesn't build pressure in your master cylinder and blow the lid off or blow the seal on the master cylinder. I'll let my brother hold the camera from here while I get started on this. The next thing you want to do is grab your 19mm half-inch socket or your 4-way and remove your tires. Now, on these lug nuts, they have little black plastic retainers. That is to hold your hubcap on. So always remember, on these Civics and Accords, you put your hubcap on and then put your lug nuts on. Otherwise, your hubcap's just going to fly off. We've got this one off. We'll go over to the other side and go ahead and remove that tire. Okay, now you got your tires removed, set to the side. You're going to want to go ahead and collapse your calipers. Most of these can be turned by hand, and that's exactly what you want to do. You want to turn it so you have access to the inside of the caliper right here, and that's where you'll stick your screwdriver to collapse it. There's multiple ways to collapse these calipers. This is by far the easiest way. Let's see, hold this for me. Just pretty much pry back, then you'll push your brake pad in and get your screwdriver in between it and collapse the caliper all the way. That way you're not messing with C-clamps or anything else. Now, if you find that the caliper's not collapsing when you do this, you may either have a caliper that's seized up or you may have a bad brake hose. So what you do in that case, if you cannot collapse the caliper, you'll want to go ahead and break your bleeder loose and see if the piston collapses. Another reason for this would be your guide pin seizing up, and that would also prevent it from collapsing. but in that case it won't prevent the piston from collapsing, it will just prevent the caliper from sliding. So always stick that screwdriver back in there and collapse the piston all the way before you do this. Alright, so after you get that done, you'll want to go ahead and remove your 2 bolts. I want to guess that they're 12 millimeter. We'll verify that in a second. Yep, definitely a 12 millimeter. If you break them loose, you don't take them all the way out. You just break them loose first. Looks like that one's trying to seize up on me. Give me just a second, I'm going to grab a pair of pliers. Now I've got the right pair of pliers. This should work.
So I was about to pause it.
I can cut this part out, or that part out.
Video editing.
Yeah. Okay. So get it secure and break it loose. There you go. So now that you got your bolts loose, you can go ahead and take them out. Remove your caliper, just securely hang it in a secure place, because there's a chance if it falls that it will rip this hose. Next, you remove your brake pads. Okay, at this point, if you're just doing a pad replacement, you're halfway there. You reinstall your pads and you're done. You want to lubricate all your slides, of course, and your pins. And I'll show you how to do that in a second, but I'm going to take some time to show you guys how to remove the rotor. This is a car lot car, and they don't want that done, but in most cases you will do that. So if you're going to continue on and remove your rotor, you're going to want to remove these 2 bolts here, and they're 17 millimeter. One here and one here. Sometimes you do need to heat them up a little bit to get them out. After you've removed that, this entire bracket will come off. Very easy, and set it to the side. The next thing is you've got 2 screws that are factory mounted. Use what's called an impact driver on these. You can get them at any local auto parts store for usually around 15 bucks. And basically it's got a flathead bit and a Phillips head bit. You stick in the end and then you strike it and it will remove these without a problem. Do not try and do it with a Phillips head screwdriver. You'll just end up stripping it and cause yourself a lot of hassle. And that's how you'll do that. So we'll go ahead and continue this job now and finish it up. So now that you've got your pads out, you want to remove your guide pins. Just slide out. You want to make sure that they're greased. This one's got a pretty good amount of grease on it, but I'm going to go ahead and put some more on it. Slide it back in. Do the same for the bottom. You want to make sure that your boot is secure on this. That's what keeps all the grease and dust out, or the grease in and the dust out. If you find that one of these are seized, which happens often, what you do is you heat it and you put a pair of vice grips or a good pair of pliers and you slowly wiggle it back and forth and it will eventually break loose and come out. Try that before you spend $75 on a caliper and a bracket. But when properly maintained and properly greased, you will never run into that problem. Alright, so there's that. And the next thing you want to do is go ahead and lubricate your brake hardware. Alright, just head butted you guys. And then you'll want to install your pads. I have no idea where I put them. Now on your brake pads, you'll notice that you have 2 with clips and 2 without clips. The clips are your wear sensors. That's what squeaks when you're going down the road, telling you it's time to change your brakes. Those always go on the inside. Your pads just simply slide back in, like so.
It doesn't really matter if it's on the top or the bottom, right?
No, it does not. And that's it. After you get that done, you slide your caliper back on. And you start your caliper bolts. Tighten those down. Snug, not over tightened to where they're going to strip, so don't Superman tighten them, but don't under tighten them to where they're going to fall off. I will tell you that everything has its own torque spec, so if you want to find a 3/8 torque wrench and look that torque spec up, you're more than welcome. I've been doing this for quite a long time, so I've got a good feel for where they're supposed to be. But it's definitely advised to look up the torque spec for these. So you don't over tighten it and break it. Okay, so that's that. Alright, from here, you obviously go to your other side and do the same thing. But you'll want to, after you get your other side done, you want to put your wheel back on, and you want to replace your master cylinder cap, and you want to pump up your brake system. Usually 4 to 5 pumps will do it, and that lets the caliper get the pressure to push the brake pads against the rotor again. Otherwise, when you let this down and go to take off, you won't have brakes for about the first 4 to 5 pumps. You'll be really in trouble. So that's about it. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Hopefully it helps you guys save some money, and girls. Like and subscribe, and I will be posting more videos in the future. We finally have the garage back together, and hopefully I'll be able to post quite a few more videos for you. Again, thanks for the support, and if you ever have a question, don't hesitate to email me, forwardauto24@aol.com. Have a great night.